Coming up, we get to know Hualien慈济Hospital's Honorary Superintendent Chen Yinghe. And Conjoined Twins, Jerrylyn and Jennylyn of the Philippines, undergo tissue expansion surgery in Taiwan. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee. Thank you for joining us. Following a series of corrective surgeries to treat the deformity of our knees joints in condition known as junior recurvatum, Chen团治from Xiamen, China, is finally able to walk on solid ground. This has been thanks to Hualien慈济Hospital Honorary Superintendent Chen英和and his team. An orthopedic surgeon with more than 30 years of experience, Chen英和has relieved countless patients of their suffering and given them the gift of healthy bodies. I believe in the superintendent. I have faith in him, so there is nothing to be afraid of.
There is no greater form of trust that a human being can place in another than that of a patient entrusting his or her life in the hand of their doctor.
Set mentors guide us and teach us to save lives. No amount of words will be adequate to express our gratitude for their contribution.
Staying true to his path, Chen英和has held firm to his initial aspiration. Chen英和was born and raised in a Christian family, and his grandfather was a well-known surgeon in Hualien. Later, Chen followed the path that seemed clearly laid out for him by his family. In 1986, Chen decided to give up his post at National Taiwan University Hospital and settle in Hualien, where he later became the first orthopedic surgeon of Hualien慈济Hospital. Always acting in the best interests of his patients, Superintendent Chen has been recognized for his medical contributions year after year. The doctor was also the recipient of the 7th National New Invention Award for his invention of a minimally invasive surgical instrument designed to assist with knee replacements. Amid the busy scenes of life, Chen continues to advance himself in clinical orthopedics and related research. His doctoral dissertation was even published in an American medical textbook. Now the honorary superintendent of Hualien慈济Hospital, Chen continues to devote his life to medicine and will continue to serve selflessly while staying true to his path.
In 1998, Tzu Chi started aid programs in China's Gansu province to help alleviate the hardship of local residents. In 2007, the foundation established a plan to help relocate residents to a DaAi village in Jinghe County. Although 6 years have passed since the end of the program, Tzu Chi volunteers' love and care for residents have continued on.
This is the Tzu Chi school located at the DaAi village in Liuchuan Township, Jinghe County. Despite a temperature of -10 degrees, this place is still filled with warmth and laughter. In fact, these residents used to live up on the mountain where access to water was limited. To help, the Tzu Chi Foundation built thousands of water cellars. However, without sufficient rain, the water cellars were no use. In 2007, the organization launched a project to relocate villagers to the DaAi village in Liuchuan Township. In 2009, villagers finally moved into their new homes. Now, 6 years later, many children who had to fetch water every day finally have the opportunity to receive an education.
Mom and Dad, although you two are not here today, I still love you both very much.
During the tea gathering organized by the Tzu Chi volunteers, children showcased their talents. The volunteers also seized the chance to deliver spring couplets door to door.
这边整个居住的环境 跟以前
比原上好吗？
方便的多了的。
哦，方便多了。
然后现在
交通便利了，啥都用车都便利了。
Thanks to the Tzu Chi Foundation, these residents who once lived in poverty finally can adopt bamboo coin banks to help the less fortunate.
Peanut butter is a popular breakfast item in Taiwan. However, a good look through your local grocery store will show that of the brands to choose from, all of them are imported. There is a good reason for this, as imports tend to be much less expensive than that of locally produced peanut butter. But as consumers become more weary of food safety, despite the higher price tag, many are turning to locally grown peanut butter that comes without any additives or preservatives.
I
started making peanut butter because I myself like to eat it.
This farmers market has been open in Taichung for over a year now. One of their most popular products has been their homemade peanut butter, which they grind once a week.
You can taste the peanuts. It doesn't taste artificial.
Walking into a normal supermarket, one finds, however, all of the peanut butter is imported.
你比较喜欢来自哪里？当然是最好是台湾做的。
However, for those looking to buy Taiwan peanut butter, it is far from easy.
The problem is that the cost of growing peanuts in Taiwan is higher than elsewhere. To grow a kilo of peanuts costs 50 NT dollars. Therefore, as things stand now, imports are cheaper. Taiwanese-made peanut butter only makes up 6% of the total market.
According to the Council of Agriculture, the total size of peanut fields in Taiwan is around 20,000 hectares, which offer a yearly yield of around 60,000 tons. Although Taiwan produces more than enough peanuts, most peanuts are cooked or roasted to make peanut soup, peanut candy, or to be eaten whole. Very few are ground to become peanut butter. According to statistics released by the Customs Administration, from 2011 to October 2014, the top exporters of peanut butter to Taiwan were China, Vietnam, the US, and India. As long as the imported peanut butter passes customs, it can be sold regardless of its place of origin or production. But are these peanut butters really safe?
Imported peanut butter will certainly have more additives. For example, hydrogenated oil, palm oil, and emulsifiers, as well with regard to the peanuts themselves. We don't really know how they were grown, and if the humidity or temperature is not controlled when the peanuts are being shipped to Taiwan, that could be a problem as well.
加工类的产品的话呢，那我们可能还会再验这个食品添加物的这个部分。
For processed food items, we will do additional tests for additives. In the case of peanut butter, we will find such primitive preservatives as ethandiatic acid, benzoic acid, and sodium benzoate, among others.
Consumers try to choose with the information at hand. However, if they saw how peanut butter was actually made, they could make a more informed decision. What you see in its packaged form are simply peanuts that have first been roasted, then cooled before being deshelled. Following, salt and sugar is added before the peanut is finally ground into butter at high heat.
Those imported brands taste a lot more artificial. Imports are usually more mealy. We tasted them but found them unsuitable. However, they are cheap. Our costs are higher because we use good ingredients and only use peanuts grown in Taiwan.
For 60 years, making peanut butter the natural way, local companies such as this one are drawing in more customers every day. And consumers realize that when it comes to shopping for food, nothing beats quality and safety.
Next, we meet two brothers that became firefighters like their father. Over the past 10 years, the two brothers have not only rescued countless lives, but also held disaster prevention seminars in communities. Together, this is one family that has decided to dedicate their lives to serving its community to the utmost.
When young, I would often visit my father at work. Being constantly surrounded by firefighters, I already knew how dangerous this job was.
Constantly seeing his father going off to fight fires, Mu Haowei didn't think he would eventually follow in his father's footsteps.
My father often said to me, it's rare that a person can work at a job that can create blessings as well as wisdom. You not only help others, but by lending support to another, you are also helping yourself.
Mu continues to hold these words of wisdom close to his heart. Fighting fires for the past 10 years, Mu Haowei has always asked himself what more could he do for society.
Looking at things from a citizen's point of view, what kind of assistance am I looking for? If more emergency responders put themselves in another's shoes, I believe we can provide better service overall.
本场所即将进行消防测试。我的个性就这样，看到火
I'm
可能就
naturally
非常
drawn to fires. When I see them, I want to douse them out. But I realize, in the case of disasters, prevention is also very important.
Though frontline rescue work is important, Mu Haojie, younger brother of Mu Haowei, chose to specialize in disaster prevention to decrease the risk of accidents from happening in the first place.
For disaster prevention to work, preventive drills and measures should be done regularly. Then, if disasters do happen, further damage is preventable, as both residents and emergency responders know how to act accordingly.
Making a name for themselves, the Mu brothers have their father to thank for their work ethic. With 30 years of experience under his belt, Senior Mu is not stingy about passing on his lifetime of knowledge.
In our line of work, we need to treat others like how we want to be treated. If I say don't get close to the fire, you don't move. If I run towards it, you do too. Why? Because the younger ones don't have our experience.
He
is really fierce and is cut from the same cloth as his father. I say, it's fine to rush in to put out a fire, but you have a family to think of. Be careful.
Thanks to their parents' support, the two brothers are more mindful when working at their post.
I hope I can be like my father, working until the retirement age of 59. This way, the length of time I can serve the public will be as long as possible.
Tzu Chi's winter aid distribution in China continues as we take a look at the latest distribution in Fuding's Dieshi village. With the help of the Fuding Hospital nurses and doctors, the aid distribution went off without a hitch. Here at the winter aid distribution in China's Fuding, doctors can't imagine how 87-year-old Wang Nianzhu has endured the pain of a fist-sized tumor on his forehead for so long. Helping out on the second day of the winter distribution in Dieshi village is neurosurgeon Xu Wei, who has plenty of experience in assisting at previous free clinics.
This activity helps doctors realize that we should not wait for patients to come to us, but that we should be proactive.
The aid distribution in Fuding this year was smaller than in years past, but the number of volunteers from Fuding Hospital was still overwhelming. Besides helping with the medical aspects of the event, some of the staff helped with moving relief supplies, while others led the crowd in song and dance.
We hope more medical staff from the hospital can experience these Tzu Chi activities for themselves, as they will know better what it's like to treat others with respect. That same feeling of respect and kindness can be passed on to their patients at the hospital. This way, the hospital becomes a place filled with compassion.
Since Tzu Chi helped Fuding Hospital to rebuild, the friendship between the two organizations has remained. Besides the exchange of medical advice, the hospital now has a permanent volunteer station to help care for the patient's psychological well-being.
Medical practice really isn't just a skill, but an art. I aspire to become not just a doctor that practices medicine, but one that puts his heart into the entire process.
On January 21st, conjoined twins Jennylyn and Jerrylyn from the Philippines underwent the first stage of separation surgery at the Hualien慈济Hospital in Taiwan. As the surgery was more complicated in the days preceding the operation, the surgical team spent extra time going over every detail.
Before the first stage of separation surgery for conjoined twins from the Philippines, doctors and nurses spent time getting to understand the case.
目前看起来是
Currently, it looks like only the liver is conjoined. All the other organs are separate. After separating the liver, there will be a rupture in the skin around 90 centimeters that will need to be sewn up.
Before the actual surgery, doctors go through a mock operation to get every detail clear. As this operation will involve 2 patients, the amount of doctors and nurses needed will also be double the usual.
As there are 2 bodies in the surgery, monitoring of vital signs needs to be done with extra caution, as there are 2 sets of vital signs to look after. So for the anesthesiologists, to the operating surgeons and nurses team, our numbers will be double compared to usual.
Routes are planned out as every member of the surgical team needs to know their job and place. As well, procedures are set down to distinguish the 2 twins during surgery.
Before the surgery, we need to pay attention to who is who. We'll use a color to distinguish the 2 twins from each other.
Ahead of the tissue expansion surgery, which is planned for the 21st, the anesthesia team and nursing team pay the twins a visit to do a set of final measurements and preparations.
Next, we joined Jennylyn and Jerrylyn as they made their way to the surgery we mentioned in the last report, where tissue expanders were inserted in their abdomen to help them grow more skin in the area. This procedure is to ensure once separated, the girls would have enough skin to cover their wounds.
At the Hualien City Hospital in Taiwan, medical staff explained to the mother of conjoined twins Jennylyn and Jerrylyn the details of the tissue expansion surgery.
The conjoined twins are very active, so they will affect each other. We will have 2 teams of medical personnel working on the surgery. The twins will also be given sedatives at the same time.
Before handing her daughters over to the medical personnel, the twins' mother shed tears of worry. With Tzu Chi volunteers by her side, the twins' mother enters the surgical room to calm her daughter's anxious heart.
We need to disinfect their skin during the actual separation surgery. The medical team will be putting tissue expanders beneath their skin today. So we want to seize this chance to do a mock operation.
By using the colors red and green, medical personnel can distinguish the 2 twins from each other and know which child they are responsible for. Under the leadership of the hospital's plastic surgery department director Li Junda and Dr. Wang Jianxing, both twins have a 250cc tissue expander inserted beneath their skin.
According to our assessment, the twins will lack about 87 square centimeters of skin tissue following the surgery. The purpose of inserting tissue expanders is to help them grow additional skin that can cover their wounds once the separation surgery is complete.
Prior to inserting the tissue expanders, medical personnel added 60 cc of saline solution inside the expanders. Over the months ahead, additional amount of saline solutions will be added.
We will be adding about 20 to 30 cc's of saline solution into the twins' tissue expanders every time. I think this process will last for about 2 to 3 months.
Thanks to the preparation beforehand, the tissue expansion surgery was successfully completed in less than an hour. Following the surgery, the twins are transferred to the intensive care unit, where they'll receive medical care around the clock. When enough new skin has grown, the twins will be ready for their next surgery.
Chen团治from Xiamen, whom we mentioned at the start of the broadcast, was helped by Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital, began her adventure here in Taiwan on March 9, 2014. After 10 months and 7 successful corrective knee surgeries later, she's finally ready to go home. To celebrate the homecoming, Tzu Chi volunteers in China gave her house a makeover.
After 10 months of treatment in Hualien, Taiwan, Chen Tuanzhi is finally returning home on her own 2 feet. Waiting anxiously for Tuanzhi's return is her 85-year-old grandma. To make sure Chen Tuanzhi can continue her rehabilitation at home, Tzu Chi volunteers in Xiamen thoughtfully put an extra mattress on Tuanzhi's bed. A new toilet has also been installed in the washroom. Chen Tuanzhi has also asked her father to install DaAi TV at home. Tuanzhi's uncle says he's extremely touched by Tzu Chi's gestures.
I can only offer my love and care because I don't have the means to help Tuanzhi.
Although busy, everyone is filled with excitement and joy.
Tuanzhi is coming home soon. We want to create a welcoming atmosphere for her.
On January 22nd, Tuanzhi's relatives and fellow villagers were gathered together to welcome her home.
It feels amazing and I am extremely happy. I never believed I could stand like this.
Walking slowly on her own 2 feet is Chen Tuanzhi, who suffered from congenital genu rhacobatum since birth. As a result, Tuanzhi couldn't walk properly for 26 years. However, a turning point came when she first met the Tzu Chi Foundation in 2014.
Chen Tuanzhi's case is extremely rare. Both of her knees were bent at about 160 degrees, and her ankles were bent at about 90 degrees.
With the assistance of the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital Honorary Superintendent Chen Yinghe and his team, Chen Tuanzhi underwent 7 corrective surgeries. Now, after 10 months of treatment, Tuanzhi can finally stand on her own 2 feet.
Whether it was during surgery or rehabilitation, Honorary Superintendent Chen made sure I was well taken care of. Since I first arrived here on March 9th of last year, whenever Honorary Superintendent Chen was in Hualien, he always came to visit me.
I have always dreamed that someone would reach out to Tuanzhi and help her stand on her own.
After months of treatment, Tuanzhi can finally wear her favorite dress. Before her return to Xiamen, China, Tuanzhi seized a chance to express her gratitude to Honorary Superintendent Chen Yinghe for making her wish come true.
Excited to see her family once more, Chen Tuanzhi boarded an airplane the morning of January 22nd, heading back home. Though her journey here in Taiwan has ended, her new life is simply just beginning. We will leave you with these images at the end of our broadcast. Thank you for watching. See you next time.